Should be starting. What is going on, everybody? Welcome into Across the Board, sponsored by MBM. Today, we have Jefe with us, and Alpha, I believe, will be back with us tomorrow. But today,
Alpha's getting a well-deserved day off, people. It's the Sports Cornucopia, even though it's technically not over. We do have something going on tonight. Big wild card game, Steelers, Texans. But with that being said, still a jam-packed show, right, JD? I mean, we're going to do our normal Monday football recap. We're going to go over all the 5 games we saw Saturday and Sunday. And I'll be honest with you, I never recalled such a weekend where every single game just hit. You can make a case that Sunday Night Football was a little bit of a dud, but at that point, even I got to admit, I was a little footballed out. So amazing weekend. So many storylines inside the games that I want to go over. And I think we're gearing up for a hell of a divisional. I mean, we still have one team to figure out, but I think we're gearing up for a hell of a divisional round, man. I'm super excited about what's to come.
Yeah, man, it was just actually like you said, man. The weekend, I can't think back to an actual weekend where the games were just coming down right at. I mean, everything was right at the end of the game. It was just great games, man. Really was.
No, it was. Honestly, might as well just say, F it. Let's just get into it. We got 5 games to break down, and obviously we have to. 5 games to recap and 1 game, a big playoff game tonight to break down. So I don't think there's any reason wasting any people's time. Let's start recapping it. Let's start from the first game and work our way back. And the first game we saw was Rams-Panthers, which when you looked at the schedule, you probably thought to yourself, all right, every wild card round, there's bound to be one snooze fest game. And I know I circled Rams-Panthers.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, and I'll ask you this question after we go. Actually, I can ask this question now. If you had to rank the fan bases of the losing teams in terms of who's allowed to feel the best versus who's feeling the absolute worst right now as their team is set, based on what those teams were supposed to do and how the game happened, how would you rank it from the happiest to the least happiest fan base with the 4 teams? So it's Panthers, Packers, Jaguars, 5 teams. Panthers, Packers, Jaguars. What am I blanking out on? Eagles and Chargers.
I mean, the best is definitely going to be the Panthers.
Really? Yeah. For me, 1 or 2 is Panthers, Jaguars, obviously. It has to be the Panthers. You're right, because they truly have nothing to be upset about.
Yes, right.
They were a 10-point dog. They played. They had the lead under 2 minutes, and Matthew Stafford's about to get 3 letters after his name in a few weeks here at the NFL Honor Show, MVP, and that's what he did on that drive. He snatched their soul, as he said he was going to do. All right, so who do you think is so Jaguars are 2, right?
Yeah, that's the one I'm sitting here thinking about, because it's tough because you were going up against the Bills there. But I still think that was a game that a lot of their fans thought they could win. That was a game I thought they could have won. We're probably going to get in. I mean, we're going to get into it. That's a game I think they really should have won. But still, I don't think that they really expected to really be there. So yeah, I can be fine with Jags.
Listen. I think the Jags. Okay, And we're not going to talk about the games. I just want to get through this question that I asked you, and we'll get into the games. But I think the Jags are number 2. You know what you have. You've proven multiple things that you have a good head coach. I don't think there's any question. I don't think anybody in Jacksonville or myself as an outsider has any issue with Liam Cohen as head coach.
Yeah.
I think you know the game plan of your team, and I think you know basically what you need. We can get into some of the decisions they made that I think were bonehead, but at the end of the day, Jaguars are nothing to be upset about. They took the lead. They just left too much time for Josh Allen.
Yep.
And there was a couple plays that I think are questionable, but whatever. I don't think the Jaguars could be upset as a fan base. Number 3 is where this gets tricky for me.
Chargers.
I think it's the Chargers only because I can say this sentence. They would be number 1 if they had their 2 starting right tackles. If they had 2 starting tackles.
Okay.
If they had Joe Alt and whoever
Slater, Alt especially, yeah.
If they had Joe Alt and Slater, and they still and the exact result happened, they're number 1 for me. Yeah, in terms of number number 5 in this ranking. There's no doubt about it. I'm giving Herbert the pass this one last time because I don't know. We'll get into it. That man loves getting hit.
He was rough, man. Yeah, it was. Whew.
But now number 4 and 5 is where I think the real debate is, and I'll let you go first.
I mean, I think it. Gosh, this is extremely tough. I think I actually have to go Eagles and then Packers.
Me too. And because I can't not put into the fact that Packers were up 21-3 at halftime.
Yeah.
This is what I'll say about the Eagles. Deep down inside, a certain section of Eagles fans in their head and heart, they looked at their team coming into this Niners game and they said, we probably don't got a team that's going to win the Super Bowl this year. We have too many question marks. Could we beat the Niners? Yeah, of course we could beat the Niners, but I don't think we have a team that's going to win the Super Bowl. And I think if you give truth serum to some Eagles fans, they would tell you, yeah, if it means that our offensive coordinator gets fired in a snap of a finger, if that's what it takes, losing this game, I'll take it. I don't care. Because I don't think there's an Eagles fan, a realistic Eagles fan that told you that they have a Super Bowl winning team this year.
That's what you said, a key word there, a realistic Eagles fan. Those two things don't really go together much, but yes, I understand what you're saying.
We'll talk about the Eagles because I think it was Ron Jaworski that said it, a new phrase. The Eagles got to be the first team ever that have ever played prevent offense. I've never. Well, I don't even want to get into it because I want to get into it and go through the game.
Yeah,
what? I never. Okay, and then the last is the Packers because, I mean, yeah, the Bears are the cardiac kings, and they're owning that. They're owning that. But I'm gonna just say a PSA to all Bears fans: it's only gonna get less and less likely that keeps happening. It's not that it doesn't work like this in sports. Okay, you're gonna find yourself down in a game soon, maybe next week. We'll see. Rams is not. I do not like that matchup for the Bears, especially with their literally their Mike linebacker out. But I have to give credit where credit's due. Caleb Williams, unbelievable, and what the Packers did to implode, I just didn't even know who to blame it on. Because the easy blame is Brandon McManus. But if you really go deeper, the bigger blame is they were without probably Love's number one safety net on offense. Hey, Luna. Excuse me. And obviously, they were 0-5 if the Parsons got injured, including the game he got injured in. So they've never won a game without Micah Parsons. And I know you're like, that's one guy and blah, blah, blah. But it's not one guy. He's the all-pro edge rusher. And they traded a whole lot to get him. And it was evident. If Micah Parsons in that game, the Packers win that game, I am so certain of this. It's not even funny. Yeah, I'm so certain of it.
that's actually one of those things that we actually talked about during the first few weeks of the season with Mike Parsons being there. He got that team up. They were so into it, so riled up. They were playing up to the best that actually they could play, and he just brought that out of everybody on that team. So yeah, with actually out him being there, that it is just one guy, but that is a huge loss.
Yeah, and on top of that, the reason why I think the Packers loss is just so hard for Packers fans, and you got to be feeling the worst as a fan base. I've never seen a team get every single fumble rolling their way, ever in my life, especially the types of fumbles that they got. I mean, three come to the fact that three come to mind automatically, is insane. The one in the end zone, how that ball just lay there, and I know it wasn't a touchdown, but understand if that ball even goes 1-2 inches more, it's an out of bounds and it's Bears ball. The Josh Jacobs fumble, I still don't understand how the Bears didn't get it. And don't get me started on when the offensive line fumbled. When the offensive lineman fumbled, the ball just stood still, and all the Bears had to do was lean over and pick it up. Not jump on it, but lean over, whatever. So yeah, I think we agree. The Packers fans today are the most upset, and I don't think it leads to a LaFleur firing. By the way, I think there's too many outs. The Micah Parsons out is huge. It's so huge. But that being said, let's get into these. Rams Panthers. Look, I don't think the Rams played their best game, but I think when it was time, Matthew Stafford showed you, I'm gonna win this award for a damn reason this year.
Yep.
He made 0 mistakes. I thought Devontae looked a little off, and he needed this game to get back into game shape. That was evident.
Exactly. That's
what else? Puka made a drop that I don't think Puka will ever make again, and it didn't cost him. I think it was in the first half.
It actually costed me, but yeah, it didn't.
What it cost you?
I mean, I had them on the first half. How the Rams' first half lost, it lost in so many crazy ways there. I don't really get mad whenever I actually lose games now. Just because we've bet so many games, been there so long. But that was when I actually got a little bit mad there.
You want to talk about when I got mad?
When
I had Jags first half, greatest kicker in the league, just couldn't make a 50-yard field goal.
Yep. Wow. Yep.
I was, and I had it at +1.
Oh shit.
So, yeah, that one, because if you remember at that game, how much time it took to review what the call was, if they got the hike off by 0 seconds, if it wasn't offsides on Buffalo, and then finally to have everything work out in my favor, and they get a 5-yard penalty to move 5 yards closer, so the number starts with a 5. I'm over here thinking, oh my, and fucking who called that game? First of all, Tony, calm down.
Yeah,
bad. Not a good showing from you. And then Brady just has the best showing ever. He was hitting on all cylinders, teaching us how to throw a football in the wind versus under. I was sitting there, I'm like, oh my God, I think I could be an NFL quarterback now. The fact that Brady had possibly his best commentating game ever and Romo had his worst was something to definitely speak about. But fucking Jim Nantz couldn't stop talking about how this is literally like an extra point for Cam Little. And it was so, I was here with all my buddies watching the game. We all looked at just said, he's missing this. And man, it's just whatever. That pissed me off. But yeah, back to Rams Panthers. Look, Rams are a team that I think are playing their best football right now. They are fairly healthy. And I would like to see them lean a little bit more on the running game. But at the end of the day, they'll go as far as Matthew Stafford and co. take them. Defense is solid, especially on the line. And they do have playmakers in the secondary. But they'll go as far as Stafford takes them. And obviously Stafford can take them extremely far.
Yes.
Anything else you have to say about that game before we get into Bears back?
Yeah, I mean, as far as the Panthers, they actually played well.
Played great. Coker
Um,
had a generational game.
Yep, I did not expect them. Like they had a legit chance to win the game.
They had the lead under the 2-minute warning.
I was not expecting that. The Rams defense we've like talked about it for the past like 5 or 6 weeks now. I don't know where this defense went because they were the number one defense, and just it's been like a decline throughout the end of the season here. It was not better yesterday, but I was talking to somebody about this, and I don't think that matters. I think that this Rams, as far as their offense goes, they have weapons everywhere, and they can flip that switch. And I think that that's what's going to set them apart from everybody else. They're just simply going to score more points.
I got the X factor in terms of the Rams. If the Rams offense, if Stafford gets the tight ends involved, it's virtually impossible to guard because Puka is a necessity to double team, and Devontae is a necessity to double team in any third and short or any red zone situation. So somebody's going to be single teamed. And there's also going to be no spy on Stafford because of this. And that's what makes it so difficult. It's the same thing that I thought was going to hinder the Bills, but Josh Allen just caped it up and never took the goddamn cape off, and it's unbelievable. But yeah, I agree where the Rams defense doesn't scare me, but as long as they don't lose the game for the Rams and not let the other offense boat race them, that Rams offense and McVay as a coach is always going to keep them in there. And the Rams are good for a pick here and there, an opportunistic pick here and there.
Yeah.
So I personally think, this is all I'll say about the games we'll have in the divisional round. Rams-Bears is already circled to me as Sunday Night Football. That's going to be an absolutely incredible game. And obviously right there tied is probably what's going to be Saturday night's game, Bills-Broncos, which right now, Monday afternoon, I could tell you I have not a single idea who's going to win that game. I can make a case for both teams. Yeah, so I'm very curious how that goes. I do think it'll be Niners Seahawks during the day on Saturday, and then Bills Broncos Saturday night, and then I think it'll be the winner of tonight's game versus the Patriots on Sunday afternoon, and then Sunday Night Football will be Bears Rams. Is how I think it'll play out. But they'll announce the time slots and the TV partners after Monday Night Football tonight. All right, Bears Packers, which I guess looking back at it is the game of the weekend. Like it is. Only because at halftime, if you were me, who made the perfect play, Packers first half, you got to sit in the second half, kick your feet up, and just watch excellence.
Yep.
I'll start. I've never seen a flip of the script in terms of line of scrimmage from a first half to second half as much as I saw that one. In the first half, when we were at halftime, me and Alf were actually watching together. We were joking around like, yo, Ben Johnson might F around and get himself fired for the fourth downs that he went on, for the way that he literally cost his team multiple points. A fourth down where I would have bet every dollar that they were going to run the ball. And for them to pass it, and then Caleb throws a pick. Terrible play call after terrible play call after terrible play call. And then on the other side, everything going right for the Packers. Nothing going wrong. Yep. Putting up touchdowns, everything great. Other than Brandon McManus missing a field goal at the halftime buzzer, which at the time you thought was absolutely worthless. And later did we learn those 3 points, plus some other mistakes he'd make later on, would cost them the game. Bears come out second half. Bears got the ball Packers got the ball first, and it was so evident something changed. All of a sudden, the Bears were on fire on defense. What baffled me is, after 2-3, I don't know. So the third quarter was pretty mute. Like the Packers were doing nothing, but the Bears also didn't do a lot. They had long drives that ended up in nothing but, I believe, 3 points. The score was 21-6 heading into the fourth.
It was 6,
and then, but the Bears were driving, and then they got another field goal, or maybe that's when they scored the DeAndre Swift touchdown. I think the DeAndre Swift touchdown right at the the end there at the start of the fourth quarter. So in the third quarter, the Bears only got 3 points. So for the Packers, who were playing, doing nothing at all, I mean, three and out, maybe a first down and 3 and out. Thought it was kind of crazy that they never like stopped playing that type of offense. Then once again, the Bears just scored, and then the Packers just. I still am trying to figure out how the Packers scored that touchdown on Matthew Golden and didn't win the goddamn game.
Right.
Because that was 6 minutes left. And at that point, you're like, the Bears are slowly making their way back in the game, but it was still the Packers were in control. Golden scores, and I'm like, all right, it's over.
It's over.
And it definitely wasn't. Yes, McManus missed multiple things that made multiple issues. If McManus makes the extra point, the Packers only need to get a field goal on that final drive. And as we know, they were well within field goal range. But does McManus even make that field goal? Who knows? And whatever. We will never know. Well, I don't want to play the what-if game. The game goes to overtime. You never know. Caleb Williams made one of the nicest throws I've ever seen on that 4th and 8 to Rome Odunze. Literally a play that, if they win this week and go to the NFC Championship game and win again and go to the Super Bowl, that'll be the reason why. Colston Loveland played unreal, and the defense just stepped up in the biggest moments. I don't know what else to say. Packers imploded. I mean, it's just terrible. Tell me what you think.
Yeah. Well, first off, is as far as actually plays on the game, you had the best play there. You called that. That was a perfect call. Packers in the first half, I was absolutely no sweat. For myself, I did not play the game because actually, like we had talked about, I had liked the Bears, but from everything you had said and just knowing how bad the Bears had the Bears that actually started out, I was like, I just can't play this. But during halftime, our guy Craig from the chat here, he sent me a national text and was like, "What do you think about the Bears actually team total over live?" And I was like, "Damn, that actually makes a lot of sense." And I mean, just because obviously they were down 21-3, so they're going to be going for it. I honestly thought the lead was probably going to extend out because the Packers, like you said, were just looking so good. So I was like, yeah, I mean, and then the Bears, they are a second half team. This makes too much sense. So I'm like, yeah, we're in there. So yeah, we ended up cashing that one. But I mean, as far as actually Ben Johnson, first half did not like a lot of his calls. The second half, I definitely did. As good as the Bears were in the plays and everything that to come back, the Packers were just as bad.
It was. I still can't believe it.
Yeah, and it's more so it's just nuts. But what I take more of everything going for, I mean, obviously it was just nuts. But going forward, Ben Johnson has got to figure out a way to get this team playing in the first half.
I couldn't agree with you more. It's like this magic is going to run out.
Yes.
And I think to myself, okay, they're playing the Rams next. If the Rams are up 21-3, Sean McVay is not the type of coach. Yes, Nick, I saw the superimposition of the Jordan logo on that throw. It's really, I can't give him enough credit for that throw. It's an amazing throw. But I totally agree with what you're saying, JD. If they're down 21-3 against the Rams, I'm going to go on record. This is already being, going to live forever on live. But they're not going to come back against the Rams if they do this. Because Sean McVay is not that type of coach to play any type of a prevent offense, no matter what the score is. You know what I mean? So I think it's, first of all, about Ben Johnson. I honestly, no, not just about Ben Johnson. Did you just notice out of nowhere this weekend, every single person, every single head coach turned into a freaking Dan Campbell.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
I
I
didn't
mean,
actually think about that until right then, but
no,
yeah.
but dude, there were so many times, even yesterday, a bunch of guys here had about six of my buddies watching the game. 4th and 4s, 4th and 6. We're all like,
Yeah.
just drawing them off sides. And every single time they hike the ball. In multiple games across multiple days. I can't, but I don't understand what's happening. And there's multiple teams that if they didn't do that, would have won the game. The first one that comes
Yeah.
to my mind is the Jaguars. They would have won the game.
100%. Yep.
They, if you don't know what I'm talking about, in the first half, they gotta. I mean, the Jags, honestly, we'll go into that game. They had that fucking game.
Yeah.
But back to the Packers Bears here. Him going for it in the first half on his own side of the football, on his own side of the field, it was nuts.
Yep.
And I think they even did a 5-out on that play, if I remember correctly. Or was it the Jaguars that did a 5-out? I can't remember. It's all meshing for me. Somebody did a 4th down, did not get it, and they had no running back. They just slotted the running back on one of the wide receiver slots and had 5 outs, which is it's so stupid on a 4th down. But regardless, I think the gambling, like the going for it, there's been a shift, and it came out of nowhere. In the playoffs, for as long as I remember, it's all about let your defense win you the game. Now, without a doubt in my mind, from the games that I've seen, it's let your offense win you the game.
So this is interesting now because okay, this is the first weekend that we saw this. And it led to some great games. But like you said, it did cost a couple teams though. So going into these next week's games, do we think it's going to revert back the other way, or do you think we're still going to see the same play style?
It's a great question. When I haven't really like dug in, but I'll tell you one thing: Rams Bears might never see a punt because they might just go for it on 4th down every single
Yeah.
time. I think in Bills Broncos, you're gonna see half and half. I don't think Sean Payton
I think
is gonna tell you my defense is gonna win this game.
yeah, I was just about to say he's the one that I
And
do
I
not
think the
think we're
same
going to see
thing
that
for
from.
Mike McDonald over there in Seattle. There is
Yeah,
no way in hell he's going to put that game on Sam for so many reasons.
100%. Yeah.
On the opposite side, Shanahan, same tree as McVay. Yeah,
Yep.
buddy. We know what that's about, especially with their injuries on defense. They might not punt. And I can't think of what games were not speak. Patriots. See, they play. Man, when we get into the Patriots game, I'm gonna give you a take.
Okay.
I realized something in the middle of that game yesterday. I was like, "Fuck!" But just remind me. All right. Anything else about Packers Bears? I mean, I haven't started to really think about what the Rams will look like going into Chicago, where the weather, by the way, is going to be a -8 wind chill. It's going to be freezing.
I'll be honest, that is the only reason I have not already bet the Rams team total over.
That game can go 1,000 ways, but we'll have so much time to get into it.
So,
But all right, let's move on to Sunday. Jags Bills. All right. I mean, game starts and I'm over here and I like the Jags. And when Ray Davis fumbled that kickoff and it's 7-3 and the Jags have the ball at their own like 10, I'm thinking, oh my God,
yep.
this is it. The Jags could score here and the Bills will have to play behind, and that's the Jaguars' dream. And that's the drive where there was a 4th down. Trevor Lawrence ran it and looked like he got it, but he didn't by an inch.
Yep.
Turnover on downs, and the game was never truly back in the Jaguars' hands until they scored that very last touchdown, and then you just left too much time for old man for Josh Allen to put on that cape and do what we all knew was going to happen, but we just didn't know how, and it surprised me how. But I think the play call to design run Trevor Lawrence on 4th and 2 is not the smartest thing in the world. He can run, but at least give the defense a second to think about him possibly passing.
Right.
Because it's only 4th and 2. So just by taking a couple of linebackers and safeties one step back with like a wide receiver thinking they're going to run a route would have given Lawrence that inch that he needed. And also, I just don't get why the Jags didn't run the ball more. They were crushing them.
That's what, to me, that's this whole game. To me, it comes back to that, is you were running the ball so well, especially outside, and you just kind of went away from like that. And I just didn't understand it.
I literally am sitting here and still not understanding it. ETN and Tootin were torching them. And Parker is a baller.
Yes.
Jacoby Myers had a horrible game. Brian Thomas Jr., I mean, yeah, he caught a touchdown, but still not a good game. And Trevor Lawrence had a bad game, man.
I was about to say, he really did not have
He did not have a good game. But yet, with all that being said, when it came down to it in the fourth quarter and that last drive, they had the lead. And all they had to do was stop the Bills from going all up in the field. And bring it down to obviously the one play we're all going to talk about. Lloyd, who is their all-pro linebacker, second-team all-pro, but still all-pro linebacker, has an absolute path to Josh Allen. Wide open. I mean, he could have if he doesn't stop to try to jump to block the pass, I believe he gets to Allen just as he throws. And there is no shot in hell that ball goes as far as it does. Allen would have still gotten it off, but not as far. And that ball that Josh Allen threw was, in my opinion, just as nice as that Caleb Williams throw. It's a back foot throw with an all-pro linebacker 1 inch from your face, and he slung it 40 yards on a dime.
Yep.
That's that play. Then the next play, that's obviously the next play, that's the big one, is the 4th and 1, where they pushed and somehow got from the 10 to the 1. I've never seen that before. I really don't get how this play is going to be allowed in football anymore. It's not that it's unfair anymore. It's not refed the same every time. So because of that, it can't be a play that's allowed. If it's just called differently. I thought that play should have been called dead 5 times. And I really don't understand it. Whatever. They score obviously on the next play, and then Trevor Lawrence throw. That's it. That's the other thing. I actually in my head really thought Jags could have had a drive. They have the wide receivers to have a drive. They could have had a drive. They lost by 3, so they only needed to get into field goal range. And they did have Cam Little, by the way. So they only needed about 40 yards in 50 seconds.
Exactly.
Yes, the Jags did assume forward progress. And I assumed forward progress watching it.
Yeah.
I just baffles my mind. And then obviously they lose by 3, and Cam Little misses that field goal at halftime that we don't think about, which obviously would have, maybe made it up. But more importantly, that 4th down that I just spoke about where Trevor Lawrence didn't get it. I mean, am I crazy to think that Liam Cohen should have just took the freaking points? Like, it's the first half. You don't know what's going to happen. Just take if that's in the second half, if that's the start of the 4th quarter, I have no problem with that. Even like late 3rd. But you have, at that point in the game, you have so many more possessions left, and you have no idea what's going to happen. Just take the points.
What I think happened there is kind of like you were saying when you saw all of that happen, and you're like, oh shit, okay, Jags are about to be in a very commanding spot here.
Yeah.
That's the same thing he was thinking. He's like, let's go and get this fucking touchdown, and we're in a perfect spot then. And
rather go up 14-3 than 10-3.
Yeah, and actually that's what he was thinking, and it just did not work out, and then shit went sideways. So, but as far as this game goes, we've talked all about the Jags and what they could have done. As far as Josh Allen though, got to give all the credit to him, man. We said this was going to be this would have to be a Josh Allen Superman cape game, and it was especially because, just like we talked about and we thought would happen, this Jags defense shut down James Cook. this actually like offensive line could not get any push. The run game was really shut down. So that made this game even tougher on actually Josh, and he still got the job done. And he seemed like he was getting beat the hell up too.
Seemed like it. He was in the tent multiple times.
Yeah.
There were like 3 different plays where I thought he was really banged up. Look, Josh Allen's a warrior. And I'm going to tell you right now, whether the Bills win the Super Bowl or lose next week against Denver, whenever their final game is, 1 hour after the game, you're going to get a tweet from Adam Schefter telling you Josh Allen has been playing with a broken this, a broken that, 3 broken ribs. His ankle is barely hanging on, and he's not even going home. He's going right to the hospital for surgery. Whenever that last game for them is, and we will have plenty of time this week to go over what we think what we now think about the playoffs now that we just have the last 8 remaining, 4 on one side and 4 on the other. That's not even close. Somebody gets 60 more minutes of football. Somebody's going to Cancun, mind you, with Madison Beer, but still. Josh Allen's a warrior, and listen, I think he's never going to admit it, but he definitely hears the no Mahomes, no Lamar, no Burrow. Like, this is your chance. And he freaking played like it yesterday.
Yep.
At least on that final drive. Look, I gave the Jaguars defense credit. There were points in that game where I was like, oh, Jags can do this. And even on that final drive, they did not make it easy. But, Josh Allen put the cape on, man. I give a lot of credit to Khalil Shakir. One of his best games I've ever seen. Yeah. I give a lot of credit to Shavers, too. I mean, even Coleman had a big catch. Everybody stepped up for the Bills in terms of wide receivers. Everybody. Nobody had a bad game as a wide receiver for the Bills. And that's not easy to do. Can they keep it up against a much better defense next week? We'll definitely talk about it later in the week. But he going to Denver. I think the Bills went to Denver already this year. Or did Denver come to them? I know the Broncos beat the Bills. I just can't remember if it where the game. I got to check real quick. Did they not play? Am I making that up? Maybe they didn't play each other. No, they didn't play each other.
They haven't played, since.
No, sorry. Last time they played was last year in the first round.
About to say, it was January last year.
And
so.
It was the wild card round, and Bills beat them up after the Broncos took a very early lead, 7-0. They never scored again. That's not this year's Broncos team, and Broncos at home are different, and Broncos have a hell of a pass rush, and obviously a shutdown corner in Patrick Surtain, who is not going to allow Shakir to have the type of game that Shakir had, I think. The Jaguars' best defensive unit is definitely linebackers, while the Broncos' best is their defensive line and having one of the best cornerbacks in the league. So, and honestly, best, yeah. So, interesting. We'll get into it, but let's keep moving. Niners-Eagles is the next game. I honestly thought this game was really freaking boring, especially in the first half. In the first half, I was like, "Geez, the Jags and Bills also had a very low scoring first half.
Yeah,
but at least things were happening. Like nothing happened. Nothing. As I'm thinking about the first half of the Eagles Niners, I actually have to look back because nothing is standing out to me. It was just a boring kind of game. I think Goddard scored. He scored twice in the first half. I think so because Elliott missed the. Yeah.
Yeah, he actually missed the extra point on the first one.
Yeah, Goddard scored twice. Oh, yeah, DeMarcus Robinson scored to start the game. It was just kind of like, they were scoring, but nothing was really happening. And then second half, third quarter was boring as all hell. But that's when it started for me, when I started to realize, like, the Eagles they're just doing absolutely nothing on offense. Yep. And mind you, in the third quarter, the Niners did not score. The Eagles were the ones to score. Halftime score was 13-10. End of the third quarter score was 16-10. And then in the fourth is when we saw the Niners turn it up and the Eagles do absolutely nothing more than they've done the entire second half. The pass from Juwan Jennings to McCaffrey, hell of a freaking play call. Yeah. I never knew that you could get roughing the passer on those type of plays. So when I saw, I don't know how you felt, when I saw the flag come out right as like McCaffrey like catches it, I was like, oh, this is coming back.
Yeah,
An ineligible man downfield was my first
yep.
thought. I never knew you could. I don't know if you knew that. I
Yeah,
thought.
no, I didn't know.
I guess he still hasn't established himself as a runner because he's behind the line of scrimmage. So I guess he has the same rules as the quarterback. I don't know. I never knew that, but whatever. Juwan Jennings, hell of a pass. McCaffrey, hell of a catch, hell of a play call by Shanahan, and that changed everything for the game. After that, the Eagles did have a drive after that. I just want to say, but it ended in a field goal, and they took the lead back. But then the Niners drove it down, and once they got it in field goal range, you kind of already knew, but they didn't settle. I think McCaffrey scored another. I think it was a pass, and the Eagles just had one of the worst, absolute worst 2-minute drives I've ever seen. Horrendous 2-minute drive. Zero. They called a timeout and then ran the same play I believe they were going to call that they were going to call before the timeout because the Niners defense played it perfectly.
That was yeah. When that play happened, I was just like, "What the fuck?" And like, yeah. I mean, like, I didn't like, not that I wanted them to like win, because everybody knows I've been this year as against the Eagles as I possibly can be, and that's why when we broke this game down Friday, I said, "Well, this is what should happen in this game," and that was the Eagles doing long drives, keeping the 49ers offense off of the field, and it being a lower scoring Eagles win. Um, but against, honestly, a national like defense in the Niners that is really hurt, missing so many guys, simply just not. They have not been playing well. Everybody's been able to actually score on them. You have this Eagles offense that can't do anything. And then you have A.J. Brown doing all kinds of shit on the sideline. Him and the coach
Oh my
fucking yelling
God.
at it back
Listen,
and
I
forth.
thought it was ridiculous that Sirianni went up to him and started yelling at him.
Yeah.
Now, listen, that was before he dropped a pass that I think he
That,
makes. That
yeah.
he dropped that pass on the drive that Elliott gets the field goal.
Yeah.
I believe so. But that he has to catch that ball. Like,
Yeah.
that's not, it's the one thing I will say, like, Hurts with the ball in the perfect place. A.J. Brown must make that catch. I think the honeymoon's over. Personally speaking, I do not see how he's in an Eagle uniform the start of next year. It's just too much. I think the Eagles are at a point where they got to choose A.J. Brown or Sirianni. And while I think there is a slim chance Sirianni could get fired, I just can't really make it make sense. At the end of the day, they won the Super Bowl last year, and at the end of the day, they won the division this year and had a home playoff game. They lost. I don't know if that's a reason to fire a coach. The only reason that I'm leaving a slimmer of hope is he is so extremely unlikable.
Yeah.
And I think it's even starting to like that notion is starting to even stretch to like Eagles fans, where they're like, F it. We know we're firing the offensive coordinator. Vic Fangio is not going anywhere. That defense is stout.
Yeah.
I just it wouldn't shock me if Sirianni got fired. I just don't think it's necessary. I just literally think they need like Mike McDaniel as an offense coordinator. Just pretty much anybody who can just be inventive. That offense was so stale and it had no reason to be. You've just wasted another year of Saquon, which I think is going to be the thing that haunts them the most because he's not getting any younger and he did not look great this year. I'm curious to see what the Eagles do. Nobody on their offensive line is getting younger either. Lane Johnson did not play. He's injured and he's only getting older. So is Jordan Mailata. They got a lot of money invested in Jalen Hurts. He's going nowhere. They got a lot of money invested in Devontae Smith. He's going nowhere. I think they signed Goddard too. So there are Goddard actually might be a free agent. I can't recall the top of my head. But regardless, they need a new offense coordinator and they need to stop playing this prevent offense. I mean, it's embarrassing, honestly. But good for the Niners. I mean, the 40 freaking Niners, man, who have two linebackers who started yesterday's game, who signed, not were with the team, but got called off in the practice squad. No. who signed with the team 77 days ago. That means signed to the practice squad 77 days ago. Those two players started yesterday's game. And they got Eric Kendricks off the damn streets, and he played phenomenal. And they lost George Kittle for not just the rest of this postseason, but torn ACL?
Yeah.
No, Achilles, sorry.
Achilles.
That's he's not ready for week 1.
No.
At 32 years old.
No.
I don't think the Kittle thing is as big. Only when blocking, I think the Kittle thing is big. Tondres is a fantastic backup tight end. Yeah. Fantastic, catching wise. But blocking, there's no replicating George Kittle, and he's also a leader. But sadly, at some point, these injuries are going to catch up. It just never works out this way. At some point, the injuries are going to catch up.
Well, yeah, what I was about to say to everything you just said was it's because they are such a well-coached team.
They're probably the best coach team right now.
Yes.
And I mean, even coordinator levels.
Yes. Exactly there. And that's why they have gotten here. It's just this next week, like you said, is that going to be like enough? It's going to be a tough game.
They're going to have to look. I mean, the line for Seattle, San Francisco is at a 7, which I think is a tiny bit absurd for a divisional round game because I think that's extreme little respect. I get why we did just see Seattle beat up San Fran in the last game of the season.
Yep.
But I don't know. I don't think you could really count that in.
To me, that one all comes down to how well Sam plays. Because as far as the Seahawks defense, I think is still going to be able to do their thing, and they're going to be able to pretty much.
Robert Saleh has a good plan for Sam Darnold. I mean, I'm looking at it now.
Right.
Yes, they won that game 13-3.
Right.
So I don't think the issue is, as crazy as it sounds, Seahawks offense versus this Niners defense. It's can Brock Purdy in this offense in Seattle move the ball against a top 3 defense in the NFL?
Yeah.
That's what it's going to come down to. With those fans going berserk, with that defense being amped up and rested and healthy, which is so important. That defense is going to be rested and healthy.
Yeah.
We will see. We'll have a lot of time to talk about it. All right. Let's bring it to Sunday Night Football, man. Talk about a snoozer. Chargers Patriots. I gotta remind myself what the halftime score was. Okay. We had a first half that if you just decided to take a nap and woke up at halftime, you would have looked at the score and be like 6-3. Okay, no problem. Good time for a nap.
Yep.
Nobody wanted to do much of anything in the first half. I thought it was absurd that the Chargers didn't do more. I mean, they had an interception at like the freaking 10.
I was about to say they were inside the 10-yard line twice and came away with 3 points.
I don't know what to say. I mean, all right. So here's I told you I noticed something yesterday against Patriots, right? Yep. Look, second half was really nothing even more to speak about. I mean, Patriots got a field goal in the third. The score was 9-3. In the fourth, Chargers had every single up. Chargers defense was giving, just begging Justin Herbert to throw the ball more than 10 yards. Honestly, that's even I watching it was like, dude, just try. Just try. Just who cares if it's just try. Finally, Patriots breakthrough, get the first touchdown of the game. Hunter Henry in the fourth. An absolute wonderful pass by Drake May. Couldn't have put it anywhere else. Okay, here's what I want to talk about with the Patriots. What I noticed like during the game, especially in the fourth quarter, and I looked and I was like, oh fuck. So I think in the playoffs, and I know we spoke about this like paradigm shift where it's like, damn, like nobody wants defense to win the game anymore. Now, this week's whole theory was let offense win you the game. At the end of the day, I think 3 most important things for team to win Super Bowl: fantastic defense, fantastic run game, and a quarterback that will not lose you the game, that will not make the wrong play, that will just keep you in it. I gotta admit, I was looking at the Patriots game, and I was like, oh, fuck. They check every box. Drake May's not going to lose you the game. He proved that. He could have lost this game for them. He didn't. Did he have a great game? Absolutely not. Did he lose them the game? No, he did not. Drake May ended up with 268 yards. He got sacked 5 times, man. He threw a pick that we spoke about that was a fluky pick. I'm not gonna put that all on him, but whatever, still a pick. And he had 1 passing touchdown. Not a great game at all. But if they're gonna run the ball like this with Travion, with Ramondre, and with Drake May, which I did not see coming, that's a humongous thing. And then on the opposite side, the defense. Oh my God. Christian Gonzalez is in concussion protocol right now, and I think that's one of the biggest things to look out for as we go into next week. He played one of the best games I've ever seen out of that position. It baffled me that even when he got out, that the Chargers didn't take more shots. He was winning one-on-one battles, taking wide receivers out. But the Patriots defense in total played an absolute amazing game. I did not think they had this mentality. Herbert got sacked 6 times, and maybe that's more about lack of offensive line than it is the Patriots. Patriots did their job. So for me, they have the formula. And I think that the Patriots are sitting at home right now and going to watch tonight the game, and they are rooting so hard for the Steelers. So freaking hard for the Steelers, because I think the Texans are their nightmare matchup in terms of, the Texans have a better defense than you, and they have a better defense than the Chargers did. And if you were struggling to score against the Chargers, you're going to struggle against the Texans. And even though I obviously don't think the Texans' offense is better than the Chargers' offense, Justin Herbert he had nothing, just nothing going. I'm worried about the Patriots in terms of they have the formula right now, and I think that there's a shot. I think Patriots could beat obviously the Steelers or the Texans, and if they do, I'll be very interested if it's the Broncos who they face. I think you're looking at a Patriots Super Bowl. If it's the Bills, it's a coin flip, absolute effing coin flip. But I am very impressed with the Patriots, especially defensively.
Yeah, there's a lot of people I know who were trying to fade this team because they didn't play like anybody, blah, 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 blah. Now, as we talked about Friday, this was one of my favorite pre-game sides. Was actually laying the points here. I thought that this line was actually off, whereas actually most of the lines I actually thought were really sharp.
I'm sorry, towards which side?
Towards the Pats side.
Oh, so you like -3.5?
Yes. Cool. Yeah. And I actually laid that. I did think there was going to be more points scored. I did not think it was going to be such a low scoring game. But like you said, about how this team checks off all those boxes. And like I said, I know so many people are wanting to fade this team, and they're still wanting to fade them next week. But like you said, this team is not going to beat themselves, though.
No.
The other team is going to have to come out and play great and actually beat them. They are not going to beat themselves. And when it comes to playoff football, there's what you want. So actually, like actually you said, as far as the Pats, I am still going to be pretty high actually on them. So yeah, and actually Red Hot Take here, what he's saying, you do have Drake May, and he can.
Yeah, I'm not arguing that he could win you the game. I think it's more important that he doesn't lose them the game.
Correct. Right.
And Drake May has to prove to us that he could win them the game yet. Because in my opinion, he did not win that game for them yesterday. He He didn't. He threw
No.
one touchdown at the end of the fourth, and if they did not even end up getting that touchdown, guys, the Patriots still win that game because the Patriots defense was not even
That good.
allowing anything. So Drake May just did what he had to do to keep the Pats in the game, and he sustained drives, which I thought was so important.
Yep.
The Chargers did not.
Not at
And
all.
that's what ended up burning the Chargers late in the game. They were exhausted. I mean, it was just 3-and-out, 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 3-and-out. So yeah, that's what I gotta say about that game. And as a Charger fan, I think you get one more out this year because I think it's really hard to lose two starting tackles, both of which are extremely good.
Yeah.
They better come out next year with their heads on fire.
That's going to be one of those where, as far as their season wins, there's going to be one of those teams that I am going to look at.
Yeah, no. They have like a 15-2 incoming record next year. Like I just feel it because
something like that.
As long as everybody's healthy and they make maybe a few additions, like I think maybe Keenan Allen's time might be done, and they might want to get themselves, let QJ, I guess be the one. I guess Ladd is a great slot guy. They need a speeder. They need an absolute speedster. But we'll see what they do. We'll see. All right, man. Well, that's the breakdown. But obviously, Wildcard Weekend has one more game, and it's tonight. It's the Houston Texans visiting the Pittsburgh Steelers. We got a -3 line. Texans road favorites, which is kind of a theme here this weekend. Bills were road favorites, I believe.
It actually flipped, but yeah.
Oh, it flipped.
Yeah.
All right. I'm seeing the Texans as a money line anywhere from -150 to -160. DraftKings has -155. ESPN Bet, or wherever you call it now, the score has -150. I don't know what FanDuel has it as, but that's where the money line's at. The total is sitting around 38, 38 and a half. This is what it comes. This is what the themes of the game are to me. You have second best defense in the league, probably. Was it the first? I don't even know.
First,
it's either second defense.
Yeah.
Going up against just a quarterback who has seen everything, been through everything, has the answers for everything, just needs his people to be in the right spots. I don't see this game coming down to Aaron Rodgers. I see it coming down to the people around Aaron Rodgers. And I think the most important sides of this game is Texans offense, Steelers defense. Because I don't think anybody's going into this game and putting anything on CJ Stroud, which honestly I think benefits the Texans in terms of like there's no pressure on Stroud.
Yeah.
He just has to do the same exact thing that we just talked about Drake May doing. Don't lose the game. Play within your script. Do not try to do anything crazy. You have good wide receivers. Nico's a really good one. I'm interested to see if they can get the run game going with Woody Marks. And I'm interested to see a Steelers defense. What do they do? I mean, do they really, make CJ Stroud's day hell? Do they blitz? Typical blitz heavy? Or do they just try to cover these wide receivers and make CJ make tough throws?
I'm going to go ahead and put it out right here, just since you're talking about it. This game, to me, literally all depends on, does the Texans' offensive line hold up? To me, that's what this whole game depends on that. Because as long as it does, as long as it's even just semi holds up, then the Texans should win this game.
They should. They really should. I couldn't agree with you more. I think you put it perfectly. It's up to the Steelers defense to put that ball in the Steelers offense as much as humanly possible. It's the only Steelers going to win this game. While the Texans, I think, have a different game plan. Texans, I think, don't really care. I just, man, like the Texans have a hell of a pass rush, guys. And then after that, in my opinion, they have the second best cornerback in the league, probably behind Quinion Mitchell, who kind of actually got burned yesterday. Well, he did get a pick, but kind of got burned yesterday for a little bit. But I think Sting is absolutely top notch. That's why I'm not that concerned in terms of taking the Texans, the DK Metcalf effect here, right? because I think Sting could really take him out. And then after Sting, they just got so many other really good by the Texans defense. If you don't know, you're gonna learn tonight. And
Yes.
I don't see. I know Aaron Rodgers. I don't want to put anything past him because every time you count Aaron Rodgers out in the past, he's made a throw that you just kind of watch 10 times and you're just like, how?
Yep.
I don't trust these Steelers wide receivers, man. I think if I had to prediction, I see a drop from somebody on the Steelers coming in a big inopportune time. Like that's what I'm envisioning. Like it's gonna be a close game. I don't think it's gonna be a blowout one way or the other. I think at some point Steelers will be driving to either take the lead or tie the game or something like that. And somebody's gonna drop the ball on a really good Aaron Rodgers pass. And that's gonna be the microcosm of the game within the game. The only way that Steelers win this game is if CJ Stroud loses the game for the Texans. Dumb mistakes, interceptions, and allows the Steelers offense to have more reps. That's going to be the problem. The Texans have to win the time possession battle. They have to have long drives that are boring as fuck. That's literally what it comes down to, in my opinion. Because that's what the Steelers want to do. That's the Mike Tomlin is telling them today. I don't care if it's the unsexiest drive of your life. I'd rather have a 15-play touchdown drive that takes up 8 minutes than an 80-yard pass to Calvin Austin.
Yep.
All right,
for me,
time, baby.
Yeah, for actually like me here, I've already kind of told you as far as actually the Texans, what I think they have to do, especially like as far as their actual like offensive line. On the other side of the ball, we talked about this a little over a month ago about how the Texans are going to be in the playoffs and they are a team that people are not going to want to see because this defense is so good. So now we are here, and I don't feel like people are talking about it the way that they were, and I know.
Why. I was one of those people.
Yeah, so I'm not understanding why everybody's still not as high on actually what this defense can do. But actually, I'm still there because at the end of the day,
it's a great point, JD. It's a great point.
On just their front four, they can get so much pressure on you just with those guys.
Yep.
And then you have Rodgers, which as far as his actual like ADOT goes, is already extremely low for the entire year, which actually means he's not passing the ball deep. I mean, it just actually means that actually he is throwing the ball short. Tonight, he's going to have even less time. I'm going to try to count tonight how actually many balls Rodgers throws actually that he just throws at actually somebody's feet. Because it's going to happen quite a few times. To be honest, as far as Steelers, everybody thinks that I, hate on them and all that. And actually, I really don't. I just kind of buy into it because it's a good bit. But as far as the Steelers team, I mean, you have to really think about it. And you have to be honest, like everybody does. This is a very average team, guys. This is
come on. I think everybody has to admit that. No,
I was about to say this is like not like some like playoff run team. This is a very average team, guys. And as far as them playing against actually other playoff teams this season, they're actually 1-5. They did beat the Pats, but that was at the beginning of the year. So I'm not really putting a lot of stock in actually that. To me, like I said, I just the play that I've already made, I've already bet VIP. They already have it. Is we're on the Texans, and actually I played them on the money line at actually minus 155. I think there's more value on this money line price than actually laying 3, because this should be a very low scoring game. So when that. I mean, yeah, it just when you take into fact to what the total is, there's more value to me taking this. Yeah, taking the minus 155, and that is what I'm on here.
JD, I don't have much to add because I am right there with you. I am taking the Texans on the money line minus 155. I just feel like when the buzzer hits today, and I don't know how it's going to be, that the Texans win this game. And I don't know if it's going to be by a point or two, but I don't think it's going to be by a whole lot because that's not the Texans' MO. Would it
Right.
shock me if the Texans boat race the Steelers? Honestly, yeah,
Oh,
because the
yeah.
Steelers are really well coached. I'm not going to overlook that. I'd be freaking floored if the Steelers win this game. Floored.
Yep.
Defense to me is so important in the playoffs. Plus, man, JD, what a freaking game Texans Patriots would be. Like,
Yeah.
will a point be scored? I'm I'm selfish because I'm half. Okay, no. 75% of me is making this play tonight because I do think the Texans will be the Steelers. 25% of me is like, I really want to see the
Just
Texans play the Patriots, and then God, I don't know which one of those teams would win, but what, like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I just like Steelers Patriots gives a wild card round to me, and I don't need that. Texans Patriots, I know kind of also like by name does, but these ain't the Texans of the past. This defense is
Honestly, that would be
full real, guys. 2 all pros, Danielle Hunter and Will Anderson, and a bunch of Sting's got to be a second team all pro. I must have just not seen it. And then they also have another dude, number 0. I'm blanking. Oh, I know his name's Lenore. No,
number 0.
Al Jazeera. They have somebody. Number 0 on the Texans defense is also a dog. I'm just blanking on his name and I'm getting pissed off right now.
And we do have Nick saying that Steelers Nation thanks me. Yeah, guys, that actually has been a thing this season. Whenever I've bet against them, they seem to win. So actually, that is why Nick is currently saying that. Tonight, though, I do really like this play, though.
Yeah, man. All right. Any props?
You know what? This was a game where I was looking into actually like touchdowns and actually different props and trying to figure something out, and I couldn't, man, because what I was really trying to do, and I'll actually go ahead and share it here, share our screen, was as far as actually Splash Sports, which if you follow us on Twitter, I actually did tweet out an actual 3-man Splash Sports lay, and that like did cash for us. So that's what I was trying to do for actually today. We're on the home lobby here for all of those, but if you go over here to Quick Picks, you can go over to the NFL, and yeah, and you can see all the props and everything. And I was trying to find something, man. And
I have one that I like. I just the line changed. I'm a little bit pissed off of myself because I had a good line on him, and I just have to see if I still what this line is. So just bear with me here as I find this dummy. Also, is Nick Chubb playing or is Nick Chubb not playing? I don't see his props, which is giving me.
I was about to say I have not seen his props, so
Okay, because I will take all unders on Nick Chubb, but I don't see any props from him. Is there a rushing prop for Nick Chubb?
we actually do on Splash here.
Okay, I do see a Nick Chubb under 14.5 and minus 110 odds. Look, I'm gonna tell you right now,
15.5.
I think we have an Amarion Hampton situation.
Okay, that makes sense.
He's gonna try to go. Maybe he gets a carry, maybe he doesn't. But if he doesn't, you get your money back anyway. Guys, if you took an Amarion Hampton under yesterday, that's it's the easiest bet of your weekend because he had a carry and never played again, so that cashed. And I believe everybody but dumbass FanDuel, what are you doing? Gave everybody their money back on Hampton, but FanDuel has a thing. Did you hear about this, JD?
Yeah.
They have a thing that they introduced in the playoffs where you're not getting your money back for an injury.
Which I don't with every other sports book going the opposite way of that now.
I literally don't know what they're doing.
Like you're just trying to lose your customer base.
I'm going to tell you right now, FanDuel, congratulations. My balance in FanDuel will not be touched until after the Super Bowl. Because why would I? Like why would I? All right, back to my very, very yes, Nick Chubb under 14.5. I'm gonna take that. If he doesn't play, no harm, no foul. If he does play, I really think it's a Woody Marks game. I think Chubb tries to be the vet, and they look at him and say, yo, dude, chill next week. With that being said, I like Woody Marks, rush attempts. I think you could get him at a reasonable place at like
Get him at
16.
16 and a half here.
Yeah, and 54.5 rush yards, which I don't hate at all. You could even get that at 50 plus. Oh no, you can't. Never mind. 54.5 is where it's at minus 115. But neither of those are my favorite. I got a really oddball for you as my favorite. You ready for this?
Okay.
Jalen Noel under half a catch, plus 150.
Okay.
Here's why. I think with
he's not even gonna be here.
I think with Xavier Hutchinson stepping up, with Jaden Higgins stepping up, obviously Nico, and people forget that Christian Kirk is on this Texans team. Schultz as well. I just don't know what Jalen Noel is. I just don't think he's part of the game plan. And I know that I'm taking him under a catch, which only takes one catch, and crazier people have caught one ball. I get that. There was a guy yesterday who caught a ball, maybe for Philadelphia. It was like never caught a ball. Before all year. I understand that. But Jalen Noel is not part of this team's offense. And I know that it's heavily juiced on the over. It's minus 194 for him to get a catch. I just kind of don't see it happening. I don't think the Texans are going to be in a situation where they have to, have one of those plays. So we're taking Jalen Noel under half a catch plus 150.
Like it, guys. Well, yeah, and just to finish up here, as far as actually Splash Sports, like I said, we don't have a full slip now. If we do make one, we will post it to X. We will post it in actually Discord. We will post it over on Tails also. So make sure you are following us in actually one, if actually not all of those spots. But Splash Sports does have something for everybody, guys. You can get a $50 deposit match plus a 100% profit boost on your first quick pick slip. You can either use the link that is actually attached here, or you can use promo code MBMATB. Once again, that's for a $50 deposit match plus 100% profit boost on your first quick picks slip.
Yes, sir, Bob. Well,
our guy Jermaine in the house. What's going on, man?
Well, brother, that about does it for us today. Feels good to do a football show. We'll have another one on Friday.
Definitely.
And we got 3 days of sports in between to go through. So, I think it's an exciting day, guys. Exciting day.
My man drops in the chat and says, Najee Marcy double.
Okay. I'll take your word for it.
I was about to say, just because you came in here right at the end of the show and dropped that, I am just going to play it.
Yeah, today's also like an oddball day where it's Monday. Yep. It's not a big college basketball day. There'll be some heavy college basketball with the next few days that we'll definitely get into. Yeah. Honestly, not a big day at all other than the big wild card game.
Today's college basketball play, okay, this tells you something. I have no college basketball plays.
Wow.
So that has to tell you how much this sucks.
Yeah, I mean, but that's how it is. Mondays traditionally are not a college basketball day. It's going to be, once football's over, Tuesday is your big college basketball day every week. And I think, oh God, Nick, really putting me on the spot. I honestly haven't even looked. Give me a second. JD, say something.
Yeah, gonna say, first off, guys, tonight we are back, guys. The live line tonight at 8:00. I will be there. Our guy Nick in the chat will be there, who is a big Steelers fan. So this is going to be fun. We're also tonight. We're going to have a new special guest on, and it's somebody from the chat. We're actually going to have our guy Craig on there tonight also. And then during the second half, we're actually going to have some other guys jump on with us. So it's going to be a fun time.
Sure I got it, Nick. I got it, baby. L.A. Kings, crown them, and Moneyline winners tonight, plus 100. I don't know why, Nick. I don't know if you noticed last week when I hit Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I think all my plays were even Moneyline picks. and this one just adds up. They're playing the Stars, who the Stars are a better team than the Kings. Let's not even get into that. But the Stars are in the midst of a 1-4 little stretch here, and this is going to be their 5th road game in 6 games. Them boys is tired. So Kings money line plus 100 odds. That's the NHL play of the day.
There we go. We got our guy Joseph has asked me for an Alcorn State pick. Man, I was hoping nobody asked about that
They're
game.
play. Oh baby.
Yep.
Out the state of the Alcorns versus the state of Alabama. Alcorn State is an 8.5 dog. JD, you must give an obligatory pick that has nothing to do with your record, but an unofficial pick has to be made here. Let's go. Let's hear it.
I was hoping nobody asked about this game because I mean, Alcorn State, like I am like their like new best friend. So I didn't want to talk about this game because the only way I could go would actually be the Alabama State side here.
Oh boy.
So that's why I really did not want to talk about it.
That degree is about to get snatched.
Right. So
I think you got to put the pride to the side, and you got to put line movers to the side. And you got to look right in the camera and be like, I don't give a fuck. Alcorn, I don't give a piss about nothing. Alcorn State plus 8.5.
You know what? Just sense of what all that Alcorn State has actually done for me tonight, I am going to make a wager on actually Alcorn State.
I might join it. It's not going to be a good one. $20.
I'm actually going to do it to just have to do it. So
I'm going to put $20 on Alcorn just because they mean a lot to you, so they mean a lot to me.
There we go.
All right, guys. Well, that does it. So we got 2 more things to do before we get out of here. JD, play some music and do your thing so I can do mine.
Well, that reminds me, I'm not going to be able to play music because I can't click 2 things at the same time.
Okay, that's lovely.
But we can get into our best bets here.
Yes, sir. All right. Texas money line, guys. I mean, this team, the way they built this team, it's for the playoffs. Defensive minded. I know they were hoping to get Chubb because a veteran back would have helped with Woody Marks, but I think Woody Marks is a solid back. It just comes down to CJ Stroud not losing them the game. And what you said earlier, which I think is the number one point. The offensive line of the Texans has to be better than the defensive line of the Steelers.
Yep.
We're riding together on it? Same best bet?
Yeah, man. I was about to say, as far as my best bets, I only like to give out plays that I've actually bet and given out, and that's the only play.
And I'm wrong up.
Yep, that I've actually bet today. So yeah, for me, it's also going to be Texans on the money line.
Does it scare you that Mike Tomlin has literally never lost a Monday Night Football game at home in his entire coaching career?
Yeah,
that's not a playoff statistic. He is 12-0 straight up on Monday Night Football at home.
Yeah, so it's actually like as far as our actual like Discord chat, there's been a lot of talk about that over the past like actually like 2 days now. And to me, I mean, yeah, it's a cool stat. It's a cool trend. These aren't the same for me. The way I cap, this isn't the same teams on the field though. And that's what I care about more. So no, to me, that means it doesn't mean a single thing.
Yep. I also think it's one of those like just outlier stats.
Yeah.
I hate outlier stats because they mean nothing. If he was 3-0 somehow on Monday Night Football this year, I would maybe consider that. If for whatever reason they had that many games, but obviously that's not the case. All right, man. Well, say your line, I say mine, and we'll see everybody tomorrow. Yeah, guys, it was a fun show. Tomorrow we'll be back to a full breakdown of actually games. Tomorrow we should have Alpha back here with us as like well. But yeah, fun show. Tonight's gonna be a great game. Definitely join us here tonight on the live line. Yeah, let's have a big week, guys. Let's fucking win. You heard the man, Carl. I haven't watched much Knicks basketball this weekend. I saw a 1-1. Stay safe on the West Coast. I don't trust you ever outside of your home. But Josh Hart, obviously, coming back meant a lot. But Carl, don't think I'm not watching. That was for you, Alpha.
Later, guys.